Hey guys, I want to give a quick shout out to the new sponsor, Dueling Guard. They have great mats, deck boxes, sleeves, everything you can think of for TCG apparel. Check them out in the description box down below and use code SAKO for 5% off. Hey guys, Lucas Sacco here. Today I have a pure Memento combo tutorial for you guys. So there's 0 Fiendsmiths in our deck, not even 1 for the Caesar. And the reason that I am doing it that way is because I think the deck is a little bit more optimized without the Fiendsmith cards because we did lose Lacrimosa. 1 Fiendsmith is not a full combo starter, but I'm not going to waste any more of your time. Let's just get straight into the video. We're going to start off with the first 1-card combo, and that is with just Angwitch. We're going to start off by normal summoning the Angwitch, and Angwitch is going to activate its effect to add the Tatsu New Toshigo. I know these cards do a little bit more, still can't say their name correctly, so I'm going to add the Seahorse to hand. You're going to summon the Seahorse because you control all Memento monsters, then you can use its effect to destroy itself, sending the Sheepy, the Goblin, and the Mace. The effect of Angwitch is now going to use its effect to destroy itself and summon out Mace, and then Mace effect to destroy itself and add Memento Fusion. This is a little bit different than any of the combos you've seen pre-BANLIST, just because there's a more optimal way to do things now. So now we're going to activate Memento Fusion. We're going to fusion with the Seahorse, the Mace, and the Goblin all back into our deck, and now we're going to summon out the Creation King. We're summoning this card out really early, which is going to help us play around Nibiru. We're going to go Creation King effect to send a copy of itself from the extra deck, as well as the Cranium Burst and Gaddock at this point. Since we haven't used Gaddock's effect now, we can now trigger it to special summon out, use Gaddock to get our Sleepy, and then we can use the combined Creation King to get us access to the Memento and Field Spell. We're going to activate that Field Spell as soon as possible just to protect ourselves from the future. Then we're going to go Sleepy effect to special summon out, and then Sleepy effect to fusion summon. So we're going to fuse with everything here. Or the 2 main deck monsters into Twin Dragon. We're going to use the Twin Dragon effect to destroy itself, which is then going to add our combined creation as well as the Horned Dragon. This is a card that didn't showcase in any of the previous combos because Clifton didn't play them for the YCS. However, I think now after doing a little bit of testing and being in a different format, I think this card is a little bit more needed. It's going to help you create your inboards a little bit safer, as well as actually make the inboard a lot stronger. Since you don't have Desiree on the inboards anymore, having another piece of interaction, another disruption is going to help a lot with the board. So from here, we're going to use the Twin Dragon effect to summon from the graveyard, as well as the Field Spell effect to summon back. So we're going to summon back the Sleepy as well as the Gaddock. And then from here, we're going to link both of those monsters into the Silhouette Rabbit, and use the Rabbit to set the Apophis from deck. This is one that you guys may not have seen. I know that a lot of the combos that are going around right now are using the Silhouette Rabbit to actually set Azure from your deck. But this card is different, and it's much better in this deck. This card says, during the main phase, special summon this card as a normal monster. It's got good stats on it, but that doesn't really matter. Then you can negate the effects of face-up cards your opponent controls up to the number of other continuous traps you control until the end of this turn. So this card is basically a blanket negate, which is really important, especially because this card doesn't target at all. So that's really important. We're going to set that from deck, and now we're going to special out the Horned Dragon. Like I said, we haven't covered this card at all, but it's a free summon if you have 3 or more Memento monsters with different names in the graveyard, which here we do. And then this also has some disruption text on it. It says, if this card on the field is destroyed by card effect, target 3 face-up cards on the field, including a Memento monster you control, destroy them. So we're going to go ahead and link away the Dragon into SP, as well as the combined Creation King. This is how you're mainly going to be playing around Nibiru throughout all of your combos here, because we're going to summon out the combined Creation King next from our... Oh, we're actually going to use the Memento Infusion. It's going to pop the Silhouette Rabbit here and get us access to another one. It's going to give us more disruptions on our opponent's turn. But now we're going to summon out the combined Creation King here. This is where your opponent, if they've been holding their Nibiru, is going to Nibiru you, and it's actually not going to do anything at all. Because what you're going to do is when they activate their Nibiru, you're going to chain your SP targeting itself and the combined Creation King and just banish them until the end phase. Because Nibiru attributed 0 monsters, it's actually going to stay in their hand. You're going to go to the end phase, you will summon back your SP and summon back the combined Creation King, and then you'll still get the end phase effect of the Memento and Field Spell to place back your Cranium Burst. So you're still ending on the exact same full board. Last thing we have to do in the main phase is set the Memento Infusion, that way we do have access to it on our opponent's turn, and then use the Field Spell to get our Cranium Burst. So right here we have the combined Creation King, which is going to summon back Angwitch. We're going to use the effect of Angwitch to add Mace, and then from there you have all your other disruptions. So here we have like the Cranium Burst, which is 5 disruptions if everything goes as planned, right? You have the Apophis, which is just a general negate on their field. You have the combined creation for Angwitch, like we had talked about, which is going to get you access to Mace. And then Mace is a hand trap on your opponent's turn, being able to discard itself while you control the combined creation to take control of their monster. And then ideally, you do have another monster in your hand, and you're able to activate Memento Infusion to fuse with the monster you actually stole from your opponent, as well as any of the other monsters on your field and a card in your hand and a Guardian Chimera, which is going to be 2 more pops and a draw. So that's really, really impactful of a board. You're getting to many disruptions without having to like play into Nib or use too many cards. So that's it for the 1-card combo with Angwitch. The next one I have for you is with Darkblade. Alright, for the Darkblade combo, you do have to keep in mind that this combo does play into Nibiru just a little bit here. There are other ways to play around it. Like if you have any Memento monster in hand, you can play around it very easily, but I'm just showing off the 1-card combos today. So we're just going to show what just one Darkblade does on its own. Here we're going to normal summon Darkblade, use its effect to destroy itself, and go into the Angwitch. Angwitch is going to get access to the Tatsu no Shigu. We're going to summon that out, and then use that effect to destroy itself, and send from the deck to the graveyard. So we're going to send the Sleepy and the Mace here. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to use Angwitch effect actually to destroy itself to special summon back the Mace, and then Mace effect to destroy itself. That's going to get us access to the Memento Infusion. We're going to go Memento Infusion effect fusion with the Darkblade, the Seahorse, and the Mace here. That's going to get us access to the Combined Creation King, and then we're going to use the effect to send a copy of itself, as well as Gaddock and the actual boss monster here. This is how you're going to play around Nib a little bit. It's not great, but it does get a little bit. We're going to trigger the Gaddock to special back, and then the Gaddock effect to add the Sleepy to hand. We're going to special summon out the Sleepy, and then use the effect to fusion summon. It's going to go into the Twin Dragon. Twin Dragon effect to destroy itself. It's going to get you Horn Dragon, as well as a Goblin to your hand in this instance. Now we're going to activate the effect of Twin Dragon to special summon back because it was destroyed. We can now use the effect of Creation King to banish itself and add the field spell. We're going to activate the field spell, and now we can use the Memento Infusion to destroy our Sleepy, which is going to add Bone Party. That's going to be really important for a lot of the boards that you have access to the Memento and Horn Dragon to have Bone Party, because it's actually going to up your disruptions by quite a bit. With Sleepy and the field spell, we're going to dump a Cranium Burst and summon back the Gaddock. And then we can special out the Horn Dragon because we do have 3 or more monsters with different names in our graveyard, 3 more mementos. We're going to link with the Horn Dragon and the Gaddock, go into Silhouette Rabbit, use the effect, get us access to our Apophis, and now we can special summon back our Combined Creation King, shuffling back as many as possible. It's going to be 5 using our hand, as well as that Goblin. So here's your end board. You have Combined Creation King with the Angwitch in the graveyard. You're going to get the end phase field spell effect to place your Cranium Burst. You have the Bone Party, as well as the Apophis here. This is basically the same board as last time, except the big difference here is instead of having SP, we do have Creation King instead. So we have some other form of disruptions with pops and that. I'm not going to show how all this plays out in this replay, but in the next replay, we're going to go a little bit more in depth with all the interactions and how it can play out to the best of its ability. Here we only have one Seahorse. We have just the Tatsu no Shigu. We're going to start off by special summoning that, using its effect to destroy itself, sending the Gaddock and the Sleepy, and then Gaddock's effect is going to special summon itself out and add the Sleepy to hand in a new chain link. We're going to use the Sleepy effect to special summon itself, and then the Sleepy effect to fusion. We're going to fusion with the Gaddock and the Sleepy here going into Twin Dragon, and then Twin Dragon effect to destroy itself, getting us access to Angwitch as well as the Combined Creation King. Twin Dragon's now going to activate, summoning back from the graveyard, and from here, we haven't normal summoned yet, so we're going to put our Angwitch on the field. Normal summoning Angwitch using the effect is going to get us access to the Horn Dragon. This is like the first opportunity they have to nib us. It's not too great for them if they do nib us, because we have the Combined Creation King and the Horn Dragon. But from here, if we don't get nib, we're going to go Angwitch effect to destroy the Sleepy and summon back the Gaddock. Use Sleepy effect to now send the Memento Infusion. That's how we're going to get access to that in this combo. And now we're going to use the Memento Infusion, destroying our Gaddock to add Memento Fusion. We're going to special summon the Horn Dragon and link these two monsters off now to go into Cross Sheep, and then we're going to activate Memento Fusion. Here we have a lot of names to shuffle back, so it doesn't really matter what you shuffle back. I prefer to shuffle back the Tatsu no Shigu, the Twin Dragon, and the Sleepy here, but if you're wanting to shuffle back other things or something gets bestialed, it's very fluid in what you can do in this combo. So we're going to put back the 3 I mentioned, the Twin Dragon, the Seahorse, and the Sleepy. We're going to summon out the Creation King. We're going to go Chainlink 1 Cross Sheep as well as Chainlink 2 Creation King. Creation King is going to send a copy of itself, as well as Darkblade and Cranium Burst to the graveyard. Cross Sheep is going to trigger and or resolve and summon back the Darkblade we just sent. And then we're going to use Creation King banishing itself, getting us access to the field spell. We're going to use the field spell and then use Darkblade's effect to destroying itself to summon out Mace from the deck. And then we're going to use the field spell effect to now special summon back. Here we do have the option, if we're wanting to use Mace effect to destroy something and get us access to Bone Party. But honestly, I think it's better if we just link these two off right now, go into our SP, protect us from nib as much as possible, and then we can link away the Creation King and Cross Sheep into Silhouette Rabbit and use the effect to now place your Apophis from deck. From here, we're completely safe from nib. We have the SP like we've talked about. We're going to go ahead and special summon out the Combined Creation King, shuffling back Mace, the Darkblade, the Horn Dragon, the Gaddock, and the Creation King. This is still going to leave your Angwitch in the graveyard, which is really important. And now we're going to go to the end phase, use the field spell effect, which is going to place our Cranium Burst in the spell trap zone. So here we have the Silhouette Hair, the Cranium Burst, the Apophis SP Creation is going to summon out the Angwitch. Angwitch is going to get Mace, and we can take their monster again. So, I mean, every single time this board is able to resolve, you should win the game. It's about 6 to 7 disruptions fully played out. You're not always going to get the 5 disruptions off of this. One thing to keep in mind for this combo, though, is that Cranium Burst kind of has an effect like Pain. It says, while you control a Memento monster, your opponent's monsters that can attack must attack the Memento monsters you control with the highest attack. So it's actually going to protect your SP a little bit, make sure that disruption does stick for your opponent's turn. So that's it for the main 1-card combos. A 1-card combo that wasn't shown as much last format, but was still usable, is the combo with Goblin. And I did want to show off the Goblin combo because next format, we actually do get a new Goblin support card in Rage of the Abyss. That card is actually used in Memento a lot. If you look at the OCG, it's a quick play spell card that just says tribute a monster, special summon 1 Goblin from your deck. And obviously this card is usually meant to support things like the Goblin Bikers, the actual Goblin archetypes, but we can use it in Memento to summon out the Memento Goblin and equal full combo that way. So let me show you that way. With 1 Memento Goblin, we're going to start off by normal summoning it. Obviously, when that new card does come out, we can special summon that from deck in the same combo. Going to normal summon it because obviously we don't have that card yet. So normal summon Goblin, use the effect destroying itself to send Gaddock and Memento Fusion. Then we can use Gaddock to special summon itself back because it was sent to the graveyard, and use Gaddock's effect to add the Memento Fusion to hand. We're going to use Memento Fusion, fusing with both copies of Mementos that we have in circulation, so Goblin from the graveyard and Gaddock from the field, to summon out the Twin Dragon. Twin Dragon's effect is now going to activate to destroy itself, adding our Sleepy as well as the Combined Creation to our hand. And then from here, we're going to trigger the Twin Dragon to special summon out Gaddock. Sleepy's effect to special summon will activate because we can activate it because a card was destroyed. We're going to summon it out and then use Sleepy to fusion summon. From here, we're going to use all of the mementos that we have in circulation, the Sleepy, the Gaddock, and the Combined Creation King to go straight into, or the Combined Creation to go straight into the Creation King. We're going to use his effect to send Cranium Burst, Darkblade, and of course a copy of himself from the extra deck to the graveyard. We're going to use its effect, banishing itself, to then add the Memento and Field Spell. We're going to activate the Field Spell, then use the Memento and Fusion to banish itself, destroying the Creation King to add Bone Party. From now, we get the Field Spell effect, summoning back out the Dark Blade, which we haven't had access to yet, so now we're going to use its effect, destroying itself, summoning out the Angwitch, and Angwitch will now add our Horned Dragon. From here, we're going to special summon out the Horned Dragon, and link into SP Little Knight. So now we're protected from Nib. Let's bring out our Combined Creation King, our big boss monster of the deck, shuffling back 5 monsters with different names from our graveyard. So we're going to summon him out now. And if you look in this combo, this actually leaves 2 different guys in the graveyard. It leaves the Memento Horned Dragon as well as the Angwitch. So we're going to set our Bone Party, go in phase, get the Memento Infusion to place Cranium Burst. So now this is where sequencing is really going to matter for the disruptions playing out. The most optimal way to use this is wait for your opponent's turn, and when they activate a card or effect, you can trigger the Combined Creation King that says, once per turn, if your opponent activates a card or effect, you can special summon 1 Memento monster from your hand or graveyard. So you're going to use that effect to actually special summon out the Horned Dragon. Now you can use the Bone Party at any time that you're wanting to, destroying the Horned Dragon to special summon out Sleepy. And here, because Horned Dragon was destroyed, you are going to get its effect as well as the Field Spell effect. So this card says target 3 face-up cards, including a Memento, destroy them. So you can destroy the Sleepy, that's usually what you target, as well as 2 face-up cards your opponent controls, so that's big removal there, as well as we're getting the other effect of the Field Spell, which is going to summon back our Angwitch. So we're going to pop the Sleepy as well as the 2 cards, summon out the Angwitch. In the new Chainlink, we have Chainlink 1 Angwitch to add, as well as Chainlink 2 Sleepy. Sleepy is going to send the Gaddock, and the Angwitch is going to add Mace. So this gets us Mace in rotation to take our opponent's monster. Because Gaddock was now destroyed, Gaddock is going to summon out and add the Sleepy. So here we have 2 kind of like hand trap interactions with our deck. Sleepy is a quick effect to special summon itself actually. So at any point during the turn, we can trigger the Sleepy to special summon itself out because the card was destroyed. And then we can use Sleepy's effect to fusion with all of our Memento monsters to go into the Creation King, which of course is still its normal pop effect. By targeting Memento monsters on your field and cards your opponent controls, you can then destroy them. And then we have the Mace discard to take, as well as the 5 disruptions with Cranium Burst and the SP effect. So, I mean, if you really count up all the disruptions, I'm sure it's something like 10, 11 disruptions here. A lot of removal, a lot of negation, and it plays through hand traps really well. I think this deck honestly has a lot of great potential going into the next format. I originally was doubting the consistency of this deck, but once I found out that Goblin actually ends on a combo that's this strong, I think that the deck got a lot better in my eyes. But I do hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you want to see anything else, please leave it in the comments down below. I'd love to know what decks you guys are wanting to see or what other things you guys are hoping for. I do think I'm going to start a Deck Doctor series at some point where you guys will submit decks to me, and then I'll go over them on a YouTube video, giving you guys my recommendations to change the deck list, what I think could be improved on there, as well as even siding patterns. I know that's something that a lot of people don't really go over, is how to side deck, so I'd love to do that for you guys. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap the video up here. If you guys did enjoy, please like, comment, and subscribe. Besides that, I just hope you guys have a fantastic day. Bye-bye.